Alright, we're back from the short break. I said we'd switch games after we spent a couple hours in Lost Branch. Now, last time I was left off, I said, hopefully we don't have to do anything depressing today. I have a bad feeling. A really bad feeling. How many tickets do I have? 53. 10. Oh yeah, we'll start out with another one of these. How much do I have towards the picker thing? It's this, right? I'm only halfway there. Yeah. Anywho. Well. So, plan of the day is we're doing another one of the Penacony side streams. We're going to start off with one of these, 10 pulls, because I don't really know what to expect from here. I want to get more light cones. That's what I really want. I want more 4-star light cones. But beyond that, it's just going to be a little bit of a shorter stream. If this ends up being less than an hour, we'll do a second side quest. Though I don't think it will be. These seem to be about an hour and a half on average. Oh, another Birth of the Self. Come on. Give me something good. The subathon goal is not making a lot of progress, and this stream and maybe 2 more streams will be left for the month of February, so for those who want to participate in that, we have a bit goal and we have a sub goal. Well, we got a Birth of the Self, which is something I do use, actually. I have a leveled Birth of Self light cone on my Herta. Could you imagine if you could equip Birth of Self to the... that light cone would be bust if we could put it on Dr. Ratio. Alright. 30. Follow attacks by 30% if the current HP of the enemy target is below or equal to 50% increased damage dealt by... Alright. That's the Herta cone for alright. And Gwenifin just constantly wants to text us every day ever since we pulled her. But, okay. So let's go through a brief overview. Last time we had some weird technical difficulties and my files got corrupted. And that was really annoying. It made it so that the audio of the last stream was basically unusable from everything past the 27-minute mark. Teach catching bullets through bare hands. But, it's a real shame. There's a brief summary. The video of the last stream for us doing the Teaser Cheek questline, for the most part, it's visible, and though you're going to miss my reactions for some portions of it, I do have a brief little summary that has been uploaded. You can watch that right now. I think it went live today at 12, so by the time this live stream is taking place, it should already be up. And if you're watching this on YouTube in the future, then yeah, it would have been the video chronologically right before this one in the playlist. Alright. Now, let's do something that will hopefully not be depressing. The trees at peace. What could possibly go wrong? I still need to pull 130 times to get that free 5-star picker. Ugh. It really almost wants to tempt you into using the standard tickets. And honestly, that might be actually something worth doing on an account. I bet there are people out there who only do standard banner pulls. The limited banner is kind of a scam in its own way.
Constructing dreams is something sacred, reflective.
Chadwick. Kind elder. The elderly man in front of you gazes calmly at the city of dreams in the distance. Following his gaze, you see puffs of smoke billowing from a fictional horizon, signaling yet another time of merriment for the dream chasers. The clamorous city of festivities sounds so distant that it feels like a world apart for the elderly man in you. He sits upright like a statue. Even his breathing is hardly perceptible. You can't help holding your breath when staring at him. To your surprise, you realize that one does not have to breathe in the dreamscape. How are you doing, young nameless? How did you know? The elderly man sets his sight upon your left shoulder. A lot of things have slipped my mind, but I remember that symbol. The Nameless are a legendary bunch. I forget that we're wearing the ticket of the Astral Express on our outfit. I forget that that's supposed to be a symbol of the Nameless, and that every character is supposedly wearing it somewhere on their outfit, and I've never bothered to check where. The Nameless are a legendary bunch. It's been so long since I talked to someone. Far too long. My name is Chadwick. May I have yours? I am Can. It's confidential. What a special name. I used to be able to tell a person's origin from their name, but you're special. I can feel the surging vitality in you even through the thick filter of the dreamscape. You can't stop. You spend every moment of your life going on an adventure, or more precisely, a trailblazing journey. That energy you possess is inexhaustible, and seems to be constantly overflowing. It's more than most beings I know can take. The elderly man's voice is palpable with excitement. The unknown about you intrigues and delights me. Both are emotions I haven't experienced in a long time. After all, I still know nothing about myself to this day. Thank you for being here. Admire the elderly man's wisdom silently. You're very perceptive. As much as I want to keep this conversation going, I'm afraid I can't, as they're here. Sorry for disturbing you, Dr. Chadwick. We have received word that you are being harassed by an unknown individual. We're here to help you evict the intruder. That doesn't sound good. I didn't do anything. Intruder, do I have to remind you that this area isn't open to dream chasers? We have the authority to expel anyone who violates the family's rules from the dreamscape. Are you looking to pick a fight? Please, Moira. I like this kid. Could you let her off the hook this time? Please do it for my sake. You know how I detest violence. Moira the Hound. Fine, Dr. Chadwick. I'm doing this as a favor to you, just this once. Go away, Dream Chaser. Don't ever go near Dr. Chadwick again, or you'll suffer the consequences. Oh boy, here we go again. Oh, you're over here. Alright, Clocky, what is it this time? There's something fishy about that old man. Why is he alone here? Why is he being supervised? It's bothering me. Tick-tock. I think he's no ordinary guy. Do you think I could beat that woman? Violence isn't always the best solution. I can sense the old man is missing something. What a poor guy. How about we hide and wait for the family people to leave so that you can help him? It's time for my clockwork to do its trick. After a long wait, the Bloodhound family members guarding Chadwick finally leave. What a patient bunch they are. Hurry up and check on Chadwick. How come you're still here? I'd really love to talk to you more, but but you can't stay here for long. The Bloodhound family never gives second warnings. Alright. Alright, let's get a little screen cap there. Put that in my control office. And that can be used for a thumbnail later. Now we just want to double check and make sure that I don't have any audio problems, because last time we had audio problems at around this starting point. Alright, I think everything's working. That was an angry gear, wasn't it? Without a doubt, the clockwork is successful. However, Chadwick's expression remains unchanged. Yet you can discern an underlying change taking place beneath the surface. Years of experience have taught the elderly man to conceal his emotions, but he can't stop his body from trembling at the uncontrollable joy and anger. My memory seems to be coming back. Things are coming out in a surge. The memories are fragmented and incomplete, but I can see them. The elderly man's limbs stop shaking in a fury. He shuts his eyes, trying to trace back everything in his life. Countless shattered fragments flash before me. I try to catch them with a net, but they keep slipping through the mesh slyly and vanish into the ocean of unconsciousness. Only a few fragments are caught by the mesh and stay in the net. I have to pick them up cautiously. I saw something. It looked like a type of weapon which brought about endless slaughter and death. I seem to be related to it. Why I don't see myself as someone who finds pleasure in violence. That's a dreadful thought. What else do you remember? I also saw some people. Oh, those extraordinary characters. Even in the fragmented memories, they can shine. I used to be one of them. I am the Genius Society. I finally remember. I was once a member of the Genius Society. If so, why are you here? I don't know. The Genius Society seems to do whatever the hell they want. Just like you, I wonder about the same thing. I've been stuck in this meaningless dreamscape for too long. Why would I while my time away without the slightest thought of rescuing myself? Could it be... Chadwick furrows his brows as he glances at the spot where the Bloodhound family members walked past earlier. The family. They must have done something to me that left me powerless to fight back. I can't free myself on my own. Some sort of powerful external force has to intervene. Like the Genius Society. I happen to know a few of its members. Would you be willing to lend a hand to an elderly man you barely know? The fact that you're confined by the family bothers me. I see, so you're driven by your sense of justice. Thank you, this dream is beautiful yet unreal. If I keep staying here, I won't ever be able to rescue myself. You've brought me a glimmer of hope. That's more than enough. You should go before the Bloodhound family members are back. I'll be waiting for your return with hope. Chadwick from the Genius Society. I haven't heard of him before. Let me text Herta and ask her about him. I want to ask something. Do you know of someone named Chadwick? Chadwick. It's a pretty common name. There are tens of billions of Chadwicks across the universe. He's a Genius Society member. Inside the Penacony Dreamscape. He said he was once a member of the Genius Society. You think I have the time to waste joking around with you? You're joking, aren't you? I'm very serious. I don't understand what's funny about that. So you're serious? Come back and meet me ASAP. Oh, and keep your lips sealed about this. No blabbing about this to anyone. I'm not joking either. Oh boy, his emo dial has been locked. I have a bad feeling about this. The tree's at peace. All the way back to Herta's office. That was fast. How come Screwllum's here too? It's been a while, Madam Can. I hope life is treating you well. There is no time for pleasantries now. Scree, let's cut to the chase. There's no rush, Herta. Assumption. If Chadwick has been stuck in Penacony for tens of thousands of system hours, I think we can afford a couple of minutes to discuss the issue. You can act all righteous as you want, but I can no longer wait. The things he is keeping are too valuable. I don't get it. You wouldn't understand even if I explained it to you. But this isn't your fault. Not even many Genius Society members can comprehend this matter. Oh, I've forgotten to tell you, Chadwick was indeed a member of the Genius Society back then. Calderon Chadwick, Genius Society number 79. His expertise includes solid-state physics, applied theory of imaginary numbers, and ballistics. Oh, I didn't realize it was a ranking system. I thought it was like the order that they joined. Our seats do not influence our statuses. You're not going to be able to rile me up with that. I've been traveling across the universe since the flame of life ignited my core. Throughout the long journey, I rarely met souls that truly deserved to be called a genius. Madame Herta was one of them. And so is Calderon Chadwick. Thank you for throwing me the compliment. I met Dr. Chadwick twice. Our first encounter happened when he was still young and ambitious, and the second was decades later. His situations in both meetings were starkly different. Recollection. Dr. Chadwick was once asked for my help. He was about 50 at the time. I agreed to help him at that time. Ever since then, I've never heard from him again. It was as if he never existed in the universe at all. Till Madame Herta received your text. He's alive, but his memory has been stripped away. The family. Who knows what kind of scheme they're brewing? Scree, what do you think we should do? There are too many uncertainties surrounding this matter. For now, I am unable to come up with a convincing solution based on limited information. Hypothesis. Dr. Chadwick offended the family for some reason and was confined to the dreamscape as a result. Things do not quite add up in this scenario. As far as I know, Calderon Chadwick is not a long-lived species. It has been decades since I was last in touch with him. Something is keeping him alive until now. I'm afraid there's only one way to unravel the mystery. I'd like to travel to Penacony myself and find a chance to visit Dr. Chadwick. Madam Can, would you like to join me? It's my honor to travel with you. Likewise. There is something I have to tell you before we go, Madam Can. The most outstanding achievement of Calderon Chadwick's life is the invention of a weapon called the Imaginary Implosion Pulse. That weapon took millions of lives and destroyed countless homes. Elias Salas. That's Screwllum. Aideen. Polka. Zandar. This just keeps getting weirder. This is definitely an Oppenheimer reference. Does the Genius Society need an invitation, or can they buy their way in like the IPC?
It's getting late. Where to now?
Finally here, Madam Can. It's good to see you in person. Each of our encounters bore extraordinary significance, and for that I am grateful. It's been quite some time since I last came here. The lobby of the Reverie is still as extravagant as I remember. Let's head to the reception and ask about Chadwick's whereabouts. I always regarded dreams with awe, hence I rarely frequent Penacony, that planet of festivities. To me, the so-called sweet dreams are often saccharine and insincere, a stark contrast to the true shape of a dream. I wonder. Welcome to Ponaconi. Miss Can, how can I help you? I see you've brought a friend today. My name is Screwllum. Madam, please forgive me for coming here uninvited without checking in. You should be able to see my name on the permanent VIP list of the family. Allie's face twitches slightly upon hearing the name of Screwllum, but she is quick to compose herself. You really admire her professionalism. Just a moment, Mr. Screwllum. Your name is indeed on the permanent VIP list. Welcome back to Penacony, Mr. Screwllum. What can I do for you? Can and I are here to visit a hotel guest here. Dr. Calderon Chadwick. Could you arrange for us to meet? From what I know, he's been staying here for quite some time. Calderon Chadwick. That name doesn't ring a bell to me, which is strange. Please bear with me while I check the system data. That won't be necessary, Allie. There's Moira again. It's you. I was lenient on you last time at Dream's Edge. The same thing won't happen again. Count yourself lucky that Mr. Screwllum is with you, Dream Chaser. Otherwise, let's not escalate the situation. The family wouldn't want to disturb the guests in the lobby, right? To the best of my knowledge, Calderon Chadwick isn't a long-life species, and last time I talked to him was 2 Amber Eras ago. An Amber Era is supposed to be like 500 years, right? Question. By what means did the family extend the lifespan of Calderon Chadwick? Has that means been approved by the Interastral Health Organization? Does it comply with the regulations of Penacony? I don't have the authority to answer your questions or allow unauthorized visits to Dr. Chadwick, sir. Please leave. There is no room for negotiation here. Man, where's Gallagher when you need him? Understood. Your action speaks of your loyalty to the family. Well, I can assume that you'd rather turn to the family against the planet Screwllum. Planet Screwllum, Intellitron Planet X, just to uphold your principles, am I correct? Are you prepared to bear the consequences of being an enemy of the Genius Society? Wow, I've never seen this side of him. He's so intimidating all of a sudden. Please excuse me for a moment. I need to consult our family head. Who's the head of the Bloodhound family? My sincerest apologies for the inconvenience. The family head has instructed me to let Mr. Screwllum and the nameless lady here through. Please come with me. Are we going all the way back to the VIP? We are. We are going to the VIP room.
One peach soul glad? Shaken?
Why isn't there a sugar?
I haven't actually gone over this way yet. That reminds me, there's a treasure chest in Adventurine's room, and I need to find that at some point. This is Dr. Chadwick's room. The regulations prohibit the Bloodhounds from entering the hotel rooms without guest permission, so I'll stay outside. Should I knock? I don't think it's necessary. I'm afraid Dr. Chadwick can't answer the door in his current state. Let me open it. Come in. Dr. Calderon Chadwick, sorry for showing up here all of a sudden. We hope you don't mind our unexpected visit. After you, Madam Can. All the sad young men. I think this is actually the room that, Aventurine and Dr. Ratio were talking at. You weigh the dusty suitcase with your hand. It's obviously empty. You may have been left untouched in this room for centuries. Search for evidence of his stay in the room. The fireplace is turned on. The whole room is chilly like an ice cavern. You can't imagine a normal person living in a space so cold. In this dingy, stuffy room, the only thing that reminds you of flowing time and the pulsing, hovering liquid are bubbles in the dream pool. They won't be able to tell you where Professor Chadwick went. I think I might know where Chadwick is. Please come and take a look. If my assumptions hold, where else can he hide? The secret is right in front of us. Screwllum reaches his hand slowly into the dream pool. He gently scoops up the translucent bubble from the liquid. The moment the bubble leaves the surface of the liquid, it starts floating upward, until it is hovering mid-air. At last we meet again, Dr. Calderon Chadwick. Is this bubble Chadwick? Deduction. The likelihood of Calderon Chadwick as a short-life species remaining alive to this day in a corporeal state is close to 0. As of now, no longevity technology has been able to extend the natural lifespan of a normal human by 2 amber eras. On the other hand, the family in Penacony has a deep understanding of Memoria and its related technologies. Even though they can't sustain Chadwick's body, they could still extract a substance from the depths of his brain, allowing his consciousness to survive. Can he even be considered to be alive? It's immortality in a sense. For sure, many wouldn't think this counts as being alive. It depends on each person's beliefs, religion, and way of thinking. One question remains. Why would the family go to such lengths to store Chadwick's memory here? What significance does his memory hold for them? Perhaps they're concerned about that weapon you mentioned? I don't think the family is capable of extracting any useful information from Chadwick's mind, Madam Can. It's because he hesitates and trails off. Let's talk about this elsewhere. In case someone is listening to our conversation, the hounds have excellent hearing. You have the right to learn the story in its entirety. But if you hadn't informed Madame Herta of your discovery, out of kindness, it cannot be said how long Chadwick would have been confined here. So I need a favor from you, Madam Can. I'd like you to pass something on over to Dr. Calderon Chadwick for me in the dream. I believe that thing will help him, in some sense. Come to his senses. What about you? I'll negotiate with the upper echelons of the family towards the aim of taking Chadwick's memory bubble with me. Until then, I hope you'll learn the full story from Chadwick, including the matters that happened before he went missing. May you have a nice dream, Madam Can. Medicine of unknown use. May evoke memories buried deep within Professor Chadwick's consciousness. Alright. Time to go back to Dream's Edge. Oh, he's on this side now. He's not on the bench anymore. The elderly man in front of you gazes calmly at the City of Dreams in the distance. Dr. Chadwick. Oh, youngster. I'm glad that I can still recognize you. You still remember the elderly man's upbeat voice when you two parted ways last time. That tiny flickering flame of hope in his eyes seems to have been snuffed out again. I'm happy you're willing to talk to me, but you shouldn't come here. Moira, the rest of the Bloodhounds, for that matter, won't be pleased to see you. That problem has been solved. Do you mean... I probably don't need to know the details. I've heard stories about the Nameless, and I believe you must be as talented as those in the stories. Do you remember Screwllum? Screwllum. Screwy? As if struck by lightning, Chadwick's eyes suddenly widen and quickly contract again. The gloom covering his eyes dissipates, and he appears bright-eyed. Screwllum, where is he? He promised he would help me. Wait, no, he did fulfill his promise, and he didn't fail me. I was the one who went missing. Both my ears and mouth were covered, and I was blindfolded. Why is everything such a chaotic, disorderly manner? I remember I'm a member of the Genius Society, but what did I do? What have I forgotten? Who bound me to this illusory world? Show the bottle of pills to Chadwick. This bottle of pills? Screwllum wants to help you. Got it. This is his idea, right? Now my chest feels like it kind of holds the entire universe in it. I can see a flicker and feel its pulse, but I know nothing about it. But when you showed me the bottle of pills earlier, the voice came from a distant corner of my universe. It tried to persuade me to trust Screwllum and you. Chadwick's face beams with a smile. It is the first time you have seen a genuine joy on his face. Who am I? Who am I to be picky now, right? I'll take it. I'm ready. Alrighty, here we go again. Enter the Emoscape. Ice Fire Physical, huh?
You better be good. My time is precious.
This team should be fine. Oh. Well, this has been really intriguing so far. I'm definitely seeing the Oppenheimer parallels, and that's the only thing about this quest line that I have been told beforehand. The young Calderon Chadwick is standing right before you. He wears the same contemplative expression even after several amber eras. Is this the place? Yes, Dr. Chadwick. Starting from here, we, the technology department, and your team will shape the future of the galaxy together. Don't be overconfident, Dudley. I'm not fully certain that this project will work out. Take it easy. What we need is you on our team. Not a 100% success rate. Honestly speaking, Dud, I'm a bit apprehensive about this. What you guys are seeking is a weapon that only exists theoretically. It could cause an upheaval in the galaxy. Of course, Chad, don't ever underestimate the technology department. We might not be geniuses like you, but we're plenty visionary. The Amber Lord just swung their hammer, announcing the beginning of a new era. It means that the legendary cosmic catastrophe is drawing close. No explanation needed. I've read the brief history of the universe too, you know. By the way, I'm surprised you're a supporter of the catastrophe theory. That's not totally true. I'll just support any theory with the most commercial value. Sounds like something you would say. There's something you can't deny. Since the cancer of all worlds started spreading, the Legion and the Annihilation Gang have become more and more active. Our mission here is to prepare and ward off those threats. I don't want to say things like we're working for a just cause, because I know that you aren't that naive. I just think that our lives can be a lot easier if we don't complicate stuff. I don't want to spend all day delving into this subject with you. Let's go down. Okay, so he makes the weapon for the IPC. And then the IPC, he does something with it. A little scared. Forgive me, but I can't tell you the exact coordinates for this planet from the top to prevent you from abandoning the task beforehand. I hope you understand, Chad. Oh. But I can tell you this. You'll absolutely not be disturbed here. See, but you should know too that I would find a way to locate my position. It's not that hard. Dudley laughs out loud instead of fielding a response. Of course, he knows that is a genius who stands before him. Are those true stings? You're right, and I think they're probably from the swarm disaster era. It's been a long while since anyone stepped foot here. I won't be surprised by anything I see in this facility. I'm impressed you guys managed to find this place. This is the first time I've seen any living true stings. It's a pity you aren't a biologist. Let's clear this place up or we can't start working. Great, gotta fight some true stings.
Not a scratch.
I think something bit me.
I'm on guard. Lance ablaze. Lance forward.
Do you know who this big diamond? It's all yours! To travel far away.
Oh boy. Now I kind of regret not bringing ratio here.
Time to twirl!
Target threat index lowered. Eliminating threat.
And we're done. That wasn't too hard.
Reach the end of the story.
Hurt to
in
spin,
your
go
own way.
burr. Ladies and gentlemen, the space beyond this door is where we will concoct the miracle. Is Dr. Chadwick inside? I never thought I'd end up working alongside that genius. Huh. Please hold your horses. Before you officially become Dr. Chadwick's colleagues, there's something I want to remind you. By walking through this door, you'll be selecting a different life for yourselves. This lab will be your life for a very long time to come. You will work, research, and have fun, and make friends here, isolated from the outside world until the project is launched or fails. If you aren't ready for this kind of life, you may go before I open this door. I've been studying imaginary theory since age 15. Working with Dr. Chadwick is my lifelong ambition. Right, this is an opportunity the others can only dream of. That door is nothing. As scientists, we've long dedicated our lives to science. You guys are just like him. I believe you'll have a great time working with Dr. Chadwick. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please come in. I can shape the world from right here. We study, research, work night and day. They rarely question things. They trust me. The floating words are back. The 37th detonation test. Unsuccessful. The energy waves from the collision failed to tear the imaginary fissure. The detonation capsule did not reach the critical threshold. Why? Lift the safety protocols. Increase the collision rate to 1.3 times the default threshold. Let's take it from there. But this is too risky and might even compromise the researcher's safety. Exactly. We can try one more time. There's no need to. We've tried too many times. It's clear that we won't make any progress if we go down the same road. Over the past 3 years, we've overcome nearly every theoretical hurdle. The scientific achievements born in this lab are enough to leave the universe amazed. But if we fail to build the imaginary implosion pulse, our efforts will be in vain. The IPC won't allow us to take the scientific results with us, not even a single page. As physicists, we must succeed. This is just going to make me hate the IPC again. That's what this questline's going to make me do. Hey, there's Screwllum. My team and I are honored to have you here to watch our detonation test. This lab doesn't welcome visitors, but you're special, Mr. Screwllum. The technology department wants to stay in your good graces. You're welcome, Dr. Chadwick. I'm floored by you and your colleagues' achievements. Please allow me to ask you some questions, as curiosity sometimes compels me to ignore the decorum. Just like that organic life experience, like what organic life experiences. Why did you agree to take part in the development of a weapon as destructive as the imaginary implosion pulse? Dudley, my friend from the technology department, said that the weapon could be used to contain the destruction's forces. He said we were doing the right thing. I'm very sorry, Dr. Chadwick. I shouldn't have sprung that question on you and put you in a position to give an insincere answer. I think we're all free to choose the life we prefer. We could put aside those redundant thoughts that distract us and focus on our tasks at hand and our areas of expertise. But you must be cautious, Doctor. For people like us, even a minor slip-up can impact the entire universe. Our wisdom is both a blessing and a burden. Some advice is too late to be given now. Now we already know that the box contains a monster. I hope you'll safeguard it and make sure it won't be opened by some ignorant kids. Thanks for your advice, Mr. Screwllum. I hope that I'll see you again one day. Hurry up. No one should hinder the detonation. Are they really going to use the pulse? Professor Chadwick, where is he? Only he could put a stop to all this. Captain, we've located Professor Calderon Chadwick. Good. We still have time to take him to the control room. Notify Director Dudley. Hurry, go. Screwllum's words forced me to face myself. But the moment to clarify always comes too late. Oh god, they're gonna attack me. That's annoying. IPC goons!
Stay back, Clara. Stay back, Clara.
Specimen sighted.
I want to protect everyone.
Help me, Mr. Sparrow. Oh dear.
Target threat index low.
Time to twirl. Commencing research.
Time to twirl.
Lance at the ready.
Honored to meet me.
I'm just gonna run past them. My nightmare finally came. I'm very sorry to tell you this, Chad. You might be a genius in your field, but you know nothing about power. Your naivety blinds you from seeing the big picture. And you don't even understand the era you're in. You should have realized long ago that we're both merely pawns in this game of chess. Once we're placed on the chessboard, we no longer control our fate. Weapons are made to eliminate enemies, and is that hard to understand? Over a dozen vanguard units of the Legion are preparing to attack the joint trade routes. Their presence can only threaten the Pierpoint's safety. Our enemies are closing in. This is the perfect time to test the power of the imaginary implosion pulse. You have 100, no, 1,000 other ways to stop them that can incur lower costs and affect fewer innocents. I've got it. Finally, what we've done here for the past 20 years is just an experiment. The result of our work never truly belongs to us. Stop lying to yourself, Chad. You knew that what you were getting into right from the beginning, but you chose to ignore it. Come here, bomb maker. It's time to show the Legion our might. In the end, my creation. Artificial intelligence. Ballistic trajectory. Pre-calculation is complete. Margin of error is plus or minus 0.08%. I guess that's approximate. Charging detonation platform 60, 70, 85. Complete. Reviewing collider status. 30%, 50%, 75%. Complete. Automatic cruise AI deployed. Enemy contact detonation. AI deployed. Imaginary implosion pulse preparation complete. Ready to detonate at any moment. How many collateral targets in the blast range? Calculation in progress. There are established 24 planets at the satellite level or above within the blast range. Among them, there are 3 secondary planets with civilizations grade D or above. Yikes. The amount of collateral damage is acceptable. The detonation plan can proceed as scheduled. That's acceptable? It's time, bomb maker. Hit the detonation button. Do not press the button. What are you doing? Press it now. I get it. You're afraid of taking the blame, aren't you? Fret not. The one who presses the button is neither you nor I. We won't even be mentioned in this incident later reported. Yeah, fuck that. You sympathize with Dr. Chadwick, right? I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but Calderon Chadwick isn't worth your sympathy. He'd long foreseen the outcome, but he chose to ignore it and carry on with the research at all costs. Selfishly, he put his talent before everything else. He doesn't care the least about anyone else. Now do it. I'm not going to say anything else. You just wasted your final opportunity. Hey, you, do it. And he killed us. That's... Holy shit. Someone didn't want to press a button that would kill 24 worlds and he killed him. Wow. That's so fucking dark. He fucking really forced us to, like, exterminate so many planets. Detonation command confirmed. Collider charging progress. Critical detonation threshold reached. Atomic cruise AI activated. Locking target. 37. Complete. Lock on AI activated. Warming up. Chamber temperature is reached. Imaginary implosion pulse is about to be launched. 5. Dud-eye. 4. Don't hold it against me, Chad. We have to be responsible for our choices. 3. My name will forever be cursed. Now, what's the price that you pay, What's the price you have to pay, Dudley? 2. Look, Chad. This is your problem. You always take your gifts and talents for granted. You have no idea no idea that there are people like me. 1. No one will remember us. 0. Imaginary implosion pulse, detonate. I am become death, destroyer of worlds. What I just experienced was the first half Chadwick, but its memory isn't over yet. Let's take a look at what happened to him after. Now we're at old man Chadwick. Oh, Ken, it's you again. Now you've experienced half my life and learned about my story. How many people did the imaginary pulse kill? A number that I try my best every day to forget. Ever since that day, I haven't dared look in the mirror, even once. I'm worried I might see a monster, a murderer who's killed countless people and ruined even more lives. That day in the control room was the last I saw Dudley. Perhaps it's true that pawns don't deserve to be mentioned, just how he put it. After that, I disbanded the team and left the lab. I managed to take some crucial data with me to keep them from falling into the wrong hands. I later learned from others that the higher-ups of the technology department who ordered the imaginary implosion pulse detonation were subjected to an internal review. They were never heard of again. But I knew the IPC wouldn't let the matter rest. The result of our research was way too valuable. Although they released a statement condemning the detonation, They would never really give up the technology related to it. They needed me to control the knowledge and keep it out of reach of other factions across the universe. So they would always be breathing down my neck. So I decided to escape, not wanting to live the rest of my life being controlled by others. A name came to my mind when I needed it most. We met only once, but he saw through my hypocrisy and excuses. Screwllum. Yes, I made up my mind to look for him, thinking he would be the one that could help me rebel against the IPC. This is the story of the latter part of my life. This is the part that I'm actually interested in. Everything before that, I kind of figured it was going to play out like that. He makes the weapon, it gets used, and then bad shit happens. Okay, now we just gotta get 3 puzzle pieces. Only 2? Once upon a time, when there was no interaction between different worlds, some civilizations were already in possession of weapons powerful enough to destroy themselves. Out of fear for power, they established complicated laws and regulations in order to attempt to prevent these self-unmaking devices from falling into the hands of the insane or violent. That's kind of like what the nuclear armistice is with the United Nations. Whoop, didn't mean to hit my mic there. When the starry seas later became interconnected with the winding roots, the exchange of technology and resources began. New weapons, many times more powerful than the original ones, emerged one after the other. Bewilderingly, those complicated rules in place to limit the abuse of weapons became increasingly simplified as more and more powerful weapons were invented. People were more tolerant of weapons when they were used against enemies. Let's say there was a faraway planet where its people were being ravaged by a ferocious flame, with their cries echoing throughout the sky. Yet for you and I, lying beneath the tree, gazing at the sky, the planet would be just another plucked by someone from many others. Alright. Now we gotta go to this other one. Alright. Puzzle piece number 2. Hello, voice from beyond. Wisdom. What a perplexing word. Some see it as the answer to every problem, and the ultimate of all virtues. However, many of those with extraordinary intellect are troubled by secular problems. It is because the geniuses are too arrogant. Or is it because jealousy gets the better of the mundane? No one has the answer for that. Only one thing is irrefutable. Wisdom can coexist with selfish desires. That was a much shorter one. Alright, here's our last puzzle piece. What did Xandar see when he was recording the tomes of the imaginary tree in the strange and ancient language? When I was little, and was first discover the imaginary theories, what came to my mind was the image of a dense forest, not a huge tree. After going through many things, I still find it hard to believe that the foundation of the universe is a giant tree that nurtures countless leaves selflessly and voluntarily. I prefer to see each planet as a seed carried by the wind that happens to land on the soil. The seeds then begin to take root and grow bigger, eventually forming the forest. The universe isn't concerned with our presence. It merely exists and observes. Interesting. That kind of spits in face of all the Honkai lore that I've actually read up to this point. Maybe it isn't just an imaginary tree. Maybe it is a forest. Who's to say that there's only the one tree? The tree's at peace. Oh, that ties into the title. That's actually kind of cool. There's Screwllum. I finally found you. We haven't seen each other for years, Dr. Chadwick. Please forgive me for not telling you that I feel sorry for your plight. I know you have long seen it coming. I brought this upon myself. After all these years, I no longer have to be reminded of that. I need help, Mr. Screwllum. I can tell you're driven into a corner, as you're still willing to talk to me after going through all those hardships. Planet Screwllum can be your temporary shelter if you need it. No, no way. I've pledged myself to never involve any more innocent people in this matter. No matter where I hide, the IPC will find me. It's just a matter of time. I can't be on the run forever, so I need to fight back in some way. I've heard that a genius has developed a secret drug capable of blocking parts of the consciousness and memory of a person. I've never been close with anyone from the Genius Society, so I need you to pull the strings for me. A selective blocking agent. I've heard of it. I suppose it's the brainchild of that eccentric pharmacist. Indeed, that lady has no dealings with the IPC, so the risk for selling you out is low. Question. Do you think this is a surefire solution? All I'm certain is that it has the smallest price to pay. As long as I can forget the knowledge temporarily, the IPC will have no means to extract it from my brain. As for whatever I'll be going through, I deserve it. Everyone must be accountable for their actions, and facing the consequences is part and parcel of the process. Personally, I don't see a lot of guilt in you. I don't like to blame the people who make the weapons. It's the people who use them for ill-gotten gains. I'm sure the technology and research could have opened fields of study that could have actually made advancements to good as well. Nuclear physicists gave us the bomb, but they also gave us nuclear power plants. Agent Orange eventually became Weed Killer, and everyone loves to tout how amazing the internet was. I understand, Dr. Chadwick. I'll get you that drug. You're finally honest with yourself, Doctor. I'm glad for you for that achievement alone. I hope with all my heart that you can pull through these tough times. And we just made him remember everything like an idiot. Cannot be opened in the current state. The Dr. Chadwick in front of you is at advanced age. He looks similar to how he was when you first met him. He still has those contemplative eyes, now tinged with a hint of gloominess. He can't seem to sense your presence. Perhaps you can take a look around the room first. The desk before the old man is stacked with unsent letters. On a letter cover, hastily handwriting, unauthorized, send request, returned, recommended. One wonders what's inside the safe on the wall. It could be completely empty, because Calderon Chadwick right here has no more secrets he can hide. A few books are scattered on the floor. You peer at their names and are certain that they have nothing to do with Chadwick's specialization nor research subjects. You find it hard to believe that the old man would be interested in the Zansho Vidihara folk music theory, or perhaps he must have lived here for too long. Professor Chadwick was in place. I should talk to him. Doctor, can you feel me? Did they send their guys over again? Who is sent here makes no difference. I've said time and time again, I am no longer of use to you guys. You took the selective blocking agent? How did you know? Ah, I get it. This isn't reality, and you aren't the IPC lackey, are you? Wonderful. It's been so long since I've had a normal conversation with someone. I don't need anything here. As they'll get me whatever I want, I'm just deprived of freedom. What have they done? At first, they pretended to be friendly with me. They tempted me with valuables and promises in return for my knowledge, all to no avail. Eventually, they lost their patience and started forcing me to read articles related to the theory of imaginary application. But the drug was surprisingly effective. Not only did it block my access to the related knowledge in my mind, but it also hampered my ability to learn the knowledge. Much later on, they accepted the fact that I had been reduced to a useless old man. Starting from some point in the time, they changed their strategy and decided to just wait for my death. I'm sorry to hear that. You don't have to. It's the price I have to pay. The passing of time and the increasing pain seemed to have alleviated my guilt, which is the only good thing about being confined here. What will happen next? I've gathered bits and pieces of info from the people they sent. Combined with my own deduction, I believe the IPC might be scheming to tamper with the memoria left in my brain after the death of my physical body. They probably think that no matter how tight-lipped I am now, whatever remains of my dead body will be at their disposal. I'm scared, youngster. I'm worried that all the precautions I've taken so far will be negated upon my demise. At this rate, the IPC will one day regain control of the imaginary pulse technology and monopolize it. My efforts will all be in vain when the time comes. Please allow me to rebuke that, Doctor. Your effort isn't in vain. Here we are again, Dr. Chadwick. Screwllum, I never thought I could see you again. I once thought so too. Life is unpredictable, but has eventually shown its benevolent side. I'm here to tell you that your effort isn't in vain. Even after the death of your physical body, you're still safeguarding your knowledge, leaving no chance for those harboring ulterior motives. It isn't the effect of the drug, but the ingrained dedication and perseverance in your consciousness. The man wanted this knowledge to never be found again so hard that even after he died, his brain is still holding it secret. That's amazing. It's great. It couldn't be better. You know what, Screwllum? I've always regretted not listening to the voice beside me when we first met. It's just a simple phrase, but I haven't been able to say it. It's probably time I hear it myself now. Say it, Chadwick. Life is fleeting, and many reach the end with regrets. I can't say your life is a happy one, but it is at least complete when this moment takes place. I joined the experiment not for a good cause, but for myself. I wanted my talents and expertise to be seen by the whole world, and that's it. Thank you, Screwllum. And you, I feel much better. Probably never better. You've been through a lot, Dr. Chadwick. Now, if you don't mind, please let us be with you as you make your way to the end. All right. It's time to get up, old man. Just tell me. I have not gathered many opinions in this matter. However, there is one lady's assessment that I believe can convey on her behalf. In a few short years, Calderon Chadwick, and your Chadwick satisfied laugh, and then he no longer speaks. Darn, I'm gonna have to look at that in the editing later. Accompany Chadwick on his final journey. I really wish this was voiced. Let's wake up, Miss Can. Screwllum! Thank you, Miss Can. You managed to unravel the mystery surrounding Dr. Chadwick and gave him freedom. He is not in the dreamscape. I found a way to convince the family to bring the remnants of Chadwick's memoria to the Herta space station. As the witness to the completion of his life, I would like to invite you to pay your final respects, should you wish to do that, that is. I'll be there. Insert and I shall await you in the seclusion zone. It's time to give this man a well-deserved funeral. Or whatever Herta's gonna do. Can I teleport to the cat room? I can. Hello, cats. Alright. Here we go. Welcome back, Madam Can. 2 amber eras later, Dr. Chadwick is finally freed. He is now with us. Oh, that's the bubble over there. How did he end up like this? What Dr. Chadwick dreaded the most became reality. After his demise, the IPC extracted the memoria in his brain, with the advanced technology provided by the Garden of Recollection, and sealed it in a memory bubble. They must have prepared for it in advance, as the process took place right after his death, so fast that even his consciousness and his final moments was preserved. That step alone wasn't enough, as the memoria preserved that way was, in essence, a stagnant pool. If it remained inactive for too long a time, what was in the water could eventually die out. Therefore, the IPC came up with a solution, sending Chadwick to Penacony to maintain the activity of the memoria. Speculation. The technology department must have struck some sort of deal with the family. Under the family's supervision, Dr. Chadwick wandered in the dreamscape for 2 amber eras. If it weren't for you, Madam Can, their supervision would continue. Now you can rest. I agree, Madam Can. This is such a miracle. It's hard to believe that he managed to resist the IPC until now. With what little consciousness remaining in his memoria, I was right about him back then. He's always been a genius, Madam Herta, but he isn't always this determined. Science and technology is not good or evil. For the past hundreds of years, he's been trying to redeem himself for a thought he had when he was young. When Can told me about him, I thought I would finally have the chance to learn about his research. It's a pity that things turned out this way. Those devices used to maintain the vitality of the memoria bubble temporarily. By turning them off, Dr. Chadwick will be able to enter a peaceful slumber. Let's pay our final respects to him together. Deactivate the life support device. Molten cheese, tart, and gray bean paste. Teamed up with various creatures nurtured by Ron May and wrote her a letter. Translation: walk your own path, Ron May. We will always support you. Alright. Oh, there's a chest over here.
Is that all?
Alright. Before you lies more than just a lifeless machine. It embodies a third of Calderon Chadwick's existence. You hoped for a response from the world of departure of this brilliant mind. Yet all that lingers is profound silence in the air. I don't know you very well, Doctor. We've known each other for a century, yet we only met 3 times. Nevertheless, allow me to address you as a friend. I understand this may not be of much consolation, but in my calculations your research had the potential to save billions of lives. Regrettably, the era has slipped through our fingers like sand. Prior to the onset of the actual disaster, all we can do is pray. Pray that the discerning gaze of Noose may turn towards the next Calderon Chadwick. Well, should I also say something? Dr. Chadwick, although I've never met you in person, I deeply admire your intellect and research. You know, I don't usually give compliments, but our fields of study share many commonalities. Your work on theory of the imaginary applications has sparked my inspiration on more than one occasion, and I have to say that it's even made me a tad jealous. It's a shame we never had the chance to work together. From what I heard from Screwy and that troublemaker, you had your share of hardships in your lifetime. Rest in peace, Doc. Is this over? Well, it's a calm conclusion. For Dr. Chadwick in his later years, this would count as a significant luxury. I never imagined I'd be bidding farewell to a fellow society member in person. Feels rather peculiar. It's a real pity. If only I realized 2 amber eras earlier. Madam Herta. Madam Herta. Who is it? Did y'all hear that voice just now? It's a miracle. Calm down, both of you. I heard that voice too. Could it be the residual consciousness of Dr. Chadwick? Herta. Please, come closer. It's happening again. This time it seems quieter. Speculation. Dr. Chadwick's self-awareness still lingers faintly. It's making an eager effort to communicate with us. Madam Herta. Madam Can, let's get closer. I wasn't expecting this. Oh, the bubble's still there. Madam Herta. I'm listening, Doctor. Is there anything else you want to say? Now's the time. I'm honored. My research, my knowledge, I will leave behind. Please accept. What are you saying? Memoria is dissipating. Please, come closer. Touch foreheads. She's going to absorb the dream bubble. I understand, Doctor. Herta's puppet takes a step forward, pressing her forehead against the trembling memory bubble. The memory bubble which still holds traces. Oh, God, I couldn't read all that. Calderon Chadwick. It's absolutely infuriating. He was nothing more than an ordinary person with a lifespan of just a few decades, yet he managed to achieve such astonishing feats. What did he say to you? Everything in that brief moment. He entrusted all of his life's work to me. It appears in that final moment of his life, Calderon Chadwick chose to place his trust in you, Madam Herta, even though you two had never met before. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. Like, unbelievingly uncrazy. Why? If anything, they should have given it to us. Not that we would ever do anything with it, but the reasoning behind organic life is truly unpredictable. I guess he can't give it to Screwllum. That might be why. The reasoning behind organic life is truly unpredictable. Nevertheless, the impulses of organic life frequently embody the grand and romantic poetry that never fails to leave me in awe. Remarkable. Truly remarkable. Tens of thousands of formulas and equations are flashing through my mind right now. I never imagined there could be such a way to analyze the problem. From imaginary overflow to imaginary implosion, from theory to application, from a mere paper to the birth of the imaginary pulse. Ah, did you see, Madam Herta? I saw the final words he left behind. To Madam Herta, while I've held my position during my lifetime, given resources the IPC possesses, they will inevitably discover the means and techniques to reproduce the imaginary implosion device. The die was cast at the moment the imaginary pulse was created. Every corner of the universe is destined to be on guard against its threats. I can't turn back time. There's still one thing I can do. I can entrust my knowledge and technology to those who are worthy, thereby establishing the groundwork for a deterrence system robust enough to counterbalance the IPC's might. My life is nearing its conclusion, yet from this moment forward I aspire to be an unyielding blade, eternally poised above the tyranny and malevolence. Scholar. The good deeds a man has done. To think he would entrust his life work to me. Did he not know this space station was connected with the IPC? But his wishes, they must be honored. Find a way to circumvent the IPC's surveillance then. With my reputation as a genius on the line, I will surely get this done for Dr. Calderon Chadwick. The research can go towards the prevention of another bomb. According to my calculations, Calderon Chadwick's research could have saved hundreds of millions of lives. Now it appears that outcome was an extremely high rate of becoming reality. May you find eternal peace amongst the sea of trees, Doctor. Witness the struggling life of a scientist. Okay. Well, let's put his picture in our book. Oh, do I have to go all the way to the Reverie? Oh, that's so annoying. Let's go visit his bench.
To dream is
Constructing dreams is something sacred. Reflective.
All right. Geniuses will never overcome power due to jealousy or fear. Boy, that was something. Well, that is definitely all I really have to say. There's definitely, this is supposed to be more of a reference to Oppenheimer and Project Manhattan. That's definitely what this is supposed to be referencing. And truly, I don't think Chadwick did much wrong. The reasoning behind this mostly boils down to he wanted to have his talents used and he wanted to have his theories proven, and I see no fault with that. And even Screwllum said it, his research can lead to the saving of billions of lives. And the fact that it's not gone forever. But it also makes me more angry at the IPC again, because that they have this literal bombshell in the works brewing in the background. And I wouldn't be surprised if we actually get to see one of these bombs go off before Star Rail's story concludes. Every one of these missions that we do that's been in the Fates Atlas usually foreshadows or adds to the lore in some way. I am very convinced that this is going to be one of those missions that's going to foreshadow something big with the IPC in the future. Definitely, even possibly revolving around whatever plot point is when we get to visit and go to Pier Point. That's all the time that I have dedicated to this today. If you want to see what the next streams are going to be and when we do them, the Discord is the place to do that. You can find the links to that in my About page. But if you're watching this on YouTube in the future, you'll see those videos just in the description. All those links in the description. Until next time, bye-bye.